friends, welcome back to part 3. So part 3 begins with me having this kind of epiphany, if you like, this moment of strength and power and clarity. So from then on, I said to myself that I'm going to try really fucking hard to not self-harm, to try and think more positively, to try and be successful and make something of my life, like I said to myself in my reflection. So over the next few weeks, I was making real conscious effort. Every time a negative thought come into my head, I try and counteract it with a positive thought. I try waking up early rather than staying in bed till like midday, 1 o'clock. I pushed myself really hard at work. I tried to be more outgoing and more actively positive, and people really started to notice a change. The amount that I was self-harming had significantly reduced. It wasn't easy, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to lie to you and say that it was easy. Sometimes my emotions would really drag me down, but then I would try and remind myself that I was going to be better and do better. And then over the next 6 months after that, things really did start to get better. I hadn't self-harmed in a while, and I was starting to get promotions at work. People wanted my kind of attention, you know, people at work that wouldn't talk to me so often would kind of engage in conversation with me a lot more. They were a lot more friendly towards me because they had seen that I had pushed myself in my job, that I was more positive, that I was easier to get on with and talk to. You know, I was more socially attractive, if you like. And it was really nice to get the kind of like this recognition. People would notice this change in me and they were telling me. It was fantastic. I was about coming up to the age of about 20 by this point, and things were good. You know, things were really good. So then leading into early 2011, I was 20 years old by this point. I was getting into a conversation with my boss at the time about things, and she kind of led me into reading this book, which kind of was a positive thinking book, and I learnt from this book and started applying the principles, and I started to really turn my life around. I mean, between sort of that moment and the year before that, my life had really started to flip around from being having a real negative outlook on life to a real positive one, and the results were showing. It was brilliant. I was getting pay rises, promotions, just doing things that I'd never do before, which I found really fun and engaging, and it was fantastic, really good. And yeah, life was really good. I hadn't self-harmed for quite a while, and hadn't felt depressed for quite a while or anxious, and I just felt this real confidence boost, this real sense of empowerment. I was feeling fantastic about myself. I'd kind of started to keep my hair shorter and more presentable. I started buying like more smart clothes, and yeah, it was really nice. And by the end of 2011, I got with this girl, and then from 2011 leading into 2012, we moved in together. I got a new job with another company, got like a £5 pay rise, and more, yeah, the success was really showing. All this kind of positive energy, these positive vibes, these positive thoughts that I'd been trying my absolute best to kind of cultivate and demonstrate and illustrate. Oh, it was amazing. Things were really looking good. I couldn't even remember the last time I'd self-harmed or felt negative in any way. And then in 2012, towards the end of it, my partner and I ended up getting pregnant. So in 2013, we had our first child together. I got another job promotion, and then it was all going swiftly, you know, really good. I was at the top of my game, and I felt amazing. And then in 2017, we had our second child together. I'd got another promotion, another pay rise. In the space of 3 years, I'd pretty much doubled my salary. I was getting bonuses, and I was a very respected member of the team in my company, and I felt really proud of myself, really good. But then I had a real spanner in the works, to say the least. At the end of 2017, my partner and I had been together 6 years. We split up. I sort of saw it coming and I tried everything to not let it happen, but then we decided it was for the best, and yeah, it all just went downhill for me from there. Basically, we split up. I tried to carry on, you know, putting that same positive energy into my job, and I just wasn't feeling it. I took a week off work for holiday to try and just gather myself, but I ended up relapsing. After being about 7 years clean of self-harm, I knew I was becoming depressed again and insecure, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I relapsed. I self-harmed. A 27-year-old man with 2 kids, a respected head chef and homeowner, all that just down the drain. I just wasn't myself anymore. I really wasn't. Moved back in with my nan, and yeah, I got back into therapy. I said to my mum and stepdad, like, I need therapy, I need medication, because I was off it by then. I hadn't had therapy or medication for some number of years, because I felt like I was in control, you know, but all that work had just been undone like that. So yeah, it was really hard on me. I ended up taking about 5 months off work. And the beginning of 2018, took another overdose. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was waking up feeling miserable, being miserable all day. I just couldn't enjoy any aspect of my life. Like, I had good friends and family around me, still do, really supportive. But unfortunately, even their care and support wasn't enough to keep me alive. And I know that sounds selfish, but I wanted to die. So I took an overdose. Woke up the next morning. Well, I was awoken next morning in a high as hell state. I was brought to A&E, and then I was put on a drip until it flushed me through. And after being in A&E for like 12 hours, they told me that I should be in a psychiatric unit. So I went willingly as an inpatient, an informal inpatient. I was in there for 9 days, and it was nothing like the way it was when I was 17. It was a completely different hospital for one thing, but I kind of knew what to expect. Nothing had really changed other than the environment and the people that were in there. Made some good friends in there, actually. They kind of really helped me through it. There was other people that were in similar situations to me, and it just made it easier. On my last day, I was told that I would be let out of hospital, obviously. And yeah, returning to reality was not easy, but I kind of felt good that I come out of there. And then a few weeks went by. I said to myself, I still can't do this. So I saved up my medication more than last time. I took another overdose. This time, I was so frustrated when I woke up. I just was well pissed off. I remember being seen by the psychiatrist. My mum was with me, and the psychiatrist said to me, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want to die." I said that in front of my mum. It was really awkward, but that's how I felt. I didn't want to be alive anymore. And I became an inpatient again, this time only for 5 days. I felt like I needed that safety, and I'm not saying I felt good for being in there, but I felt like a lot more relaxed than I was the first time. And this time being in there, I actually felt like I made some progress and that I could kind of get some mental stability. So I came out of there, I felt relieved. And then after about a month or so, I thought, do you know what? I'm at a good enough place now that I can go back to work. Went back to work. Went back for about a month. Had a holiday. Come back. And on my first day back, I felt like absolute shit. Thought, I can't do this. I did a split shift that day. So I went back in my morning shift. Things went absolutely terrible. Went home, took another overdose. But this time when I woke up, to be honest, I actually felt relieved. I felt like, thank God nothing serious happened. Like, okay, yeah, I damaged my body, but I hadn't done any yeah, I just felt relieved, and it was good. I didn't become an impatient this time, and I really started to push myself. I was like, no, I can't keep putting myself through this. I can't put my family and friends through this, and the company that I worked for through this, because the company that I was working for, they had supported me every step of the way. And shout out to my boss, David. He's just been absolutely brilliant. Without him, there's no way I would have been able to return to work and make the amount of progress that I've had. So yeah, from then on, I kept on pushing myself. I was still self-harming and having mood swings, but I had a lot of intense therapy, like some skills and support groups and CBT. Massive amount of support from my family and friends. Without them, I definitely couldn't have made it this far either. And yeah, I absolutely love and adore them. But in that time, I managed to get my book finished and published on Amazon, which is really good. Managed to reduce the amount of mood swings I've had, managed to reduce the amount of self-harm that I've done, and just keep on getting all this content created with my Youth Potential project. And yeah, and that's led me up to this moment. So where am I at now? I haven't self-harmed nowhere near as much as I've had done. I mean, I slip up every now and then, but I'm not ashamed of myself for doing it. I don't get frustrated myself for doing it, because I just think it's a part of the journey, and I'm okay with that. I still take the same medication, I still have therapy, but above everything, I'm just so proud and grateful that I've got all these wonderful people around me. My partner, Carla, she's absolutely amazing. She understands me, and very grateful. I've got such a good network of friends and family, company I work for, so supportive. And yeah, now I'm just able to get on. I'm writing my second book, which is all about distraction techniques. And I can see a future for myself, regardless of all these slip-ups that I have. So yeah, that's it. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I know this is like quite a long 3-part series video, but it means a lot to me, and thank you again for voting. I'm sure I'll put another poll up soon where you can vote for another video. All the best guys, take care, thank you.